Hello, Aquarius. Welcome, all my Aquarians. This is going to be your June monthly overview reading where I call these really raw readings because anything and everything can come up in the messages. And some of these messages can be triggering. Now, not every message for every sign every month is going to be triggering in nature, but I call it really raw readings because I want to make people aware that these can be triggering at times. So if it does, just understand that if something triggers you, you do have the ability and the power. You have free will. You have the ability and the power to decide how you want to react to that, how you want to accept that or not accept it in your life, however you choose to. And understand that these readings are for entertainment purposes. And with that said, the way I do my readings is I have basically I use tarot cards as a tool. So if you see me read a card not in the traditional sense of what the meaning of the card is, I'm not like some of the tarot readers out there. I don't read the tarot cards specifically as they're meant to be read. I use them as a tool to help channel and scribe the messages that want to come up and come through. So when I see a card, I'm drawn to something and messages come up, and that's what comes through. So understand that. Now, the way these monthly readings work is we do 3 rows. The first row is your emotional self. The middle row is your soul self. The third row is your physical self. And so with that first row, that's what you're feeling and thinking through the month of June, which is typically going to be the overall message for the reading for the month of what message needs to come through, what's on your mind, what you're dealing with, what you may or may not be dealing with in the month of June. Your soul self kind of tells us it's like your intuitive 5D self. It's how you're probably thinking or perceiving of the situation on that kind of 5D level, so to speak, or what your intuition may be telling you that you may not be picking up on. And then the third row, your physical self, is kind of how that comes through in the physical reality, in the 3D world, how that's being perceived, and what may or may not happen in reaction to everything else on the board. Then we're going to wrap it up with 1 card for love for the month of June that depicts what your love life is going to be like. And I only do that because I know people are interested in love, and this is not geared toward being love readings. I typically, for the most part, don't do love readings. There's many tarot readers out there that focus on love, and I know that because I don't do that, I don't generate a lot of viewers and or subscribers, and that is fine because I do what feels right for me and what I feel like I'm meant to do, the messages I'm meant to get out there, and the people that find it are meant to find it. And if my channel is meant to grow, it's meant to grow. But it's just out there to help whoever needs to hear these messages. So if you're drawn to it, there is a reason why. So keep that in mind. And these messages are timeless for whoever finds them when you find them. So let's go ahead and jump right in, Aquarius, and see what your emotional self is feeling and thinking for the month of June. So interesting. So I have the biblical card. I might need to get more out of that, or the other cards with that. But right off the top of the bat, with that biblical card, I'm really getting like history, like trying to that history. Like I'm picking up on like lineage. History, like traditions, traditional values. There might be family values, like ancestral ties, values, that kind of thing. And this is your overall mood. So that's just kind of an indifference. Meh. I'm really feeling meh off that card. So give or take is what I'm feeling, kind of a give or take attitude. Really feeling like you might be examining some of your traditions and values, whether that be societal traditions or values, or religious factors that you've been brought up with, the traditions that you've learned either through society or through your family, that might be affecting your life. So I have the Ten of Cups there. And so how are those values? Are they serving you? Really picking that up for you, Aquarius, that you're examining your values and how that's affecting your happiness. Is that giving you the reality you want, or that you're dreaming of? Are they practical? Do they suit you? Really, really contemplating those things. So I have the Five of Wands, but it's in reverse, which is odd because my cards typically aren't in reverse, and that's the first card in reverse I've had today that's come up. So it's moving away from conflict. And the Queen of Wands. So I'm really feeling like anything that I really am feeling like anything that is not serving you, like I said, I'm really feeling like you're picking up this month of June might be revolve around you examining your beliefs, your values, your traditions, the way you perceive things in the world, like what you've been taught, is that serving you? And then, do you want to keep that in your life or not? I feel like you've been almost, Aquarius, like you feel like you haven't fit in almost like I'm picking up on someone that might feel like they're a little bit of a black sheep in the family, or an outcast, that they just don't fit in their surroundings. And because they don't fit in, that's what's making, if this is resonating with you, Aquarius, it's what's making you take this time in June to really look at your life, look at the way, what you've been taught. Is that serving you? Is that really making you happy, living that way, or doing things a certain way, having these traditions and beliefs, because you're wanting to get away from, like I said, you have this Five of Wands in reverse. So it's wanting to move toward where you feel like you belong, because I feel like with this Queen of Wands, like I'm really feeling that kind of, that outcast, like you've been living a lie, like you've been just going along with what you've been taught, but it really hasn't served you because it doesn't feel right for you. Like you've been trying to make others happy, kind of an energy, just going along with the crowd, and you're done with that. I'm really feeling that you're done with that. You're wanting to move past that, is what I'm really picking up on. Because that's not making you happy. The way things have always been done, or the way things you've been taught, are just not suiting you. And you realize that. Oh. Give me just a second, Aquarius. Heptagon is what you have for your soul. And this is a sacred geometry. I love using these for the soul self, because they speak to things on a much deeper level, and in a more esoteric kind of sense, with the type of cards that are in here. And what I feel like with this card is, I feel like you've been drawn in, like you almost feel like you've been swept up in things around you, like you almost can't break free. like this. I'm sorry, my cat just knocked the camera stand for some reason. He's decided to play with the camera stand. Um, so it's like this net, like you're almost like you felt like you can't get out, like you're in this whirlpool that you're just kind of like going down the drain, like you can't seem to get up out of this, like you're just being sucked in. um and you just had to go along for the ride, of things in your life. It's really this energy of, um I'm getting like a net, like caught in a net, or in a whirlpool, like it's just like, uh I'm almost getting a little sense of like a drowning, because like I said, I feel like it's like not fitting in, the outcast, black sheep, uh, and realizing you need to do something different, that this isn't who, this lifestyle, these traditions, values are not you. Like your soul knows that. Your soul has been feeling like it's trapped, like it can't get out, like it's being suffocated, drowned, um, caught in a net that you can't, feel like you can't break free. Like you're going against the tide. It's what I'm feeling. I keep seeing a net. Net and whirlpool is what I keep seeing. Can I get 3 cards on Soul Self for Aquarius, please? Can I get 3 cards on Aquarius Soul Self, please? Oh, I see cards upside down. Where are you? I saw you. I saw you. I know. There it is. I knew I saw it. So the 6 of Cups. Such an interesting 6 of Cups. So this is the tarot deck that I'm using for the Soul Self, is the Royo Dark Tarot. And I use this Dark Tarot because for the Soul Self, or intuition, because these are like darker energies, things that are hidden that we may not be aware of and we may not see. My cat's playing with something. He's all over the floor, which is why he knocked the camera. So we have the, what is this? Oh, the King of Wands. King of Wands. That is a very interesting king. Like I said, these cards are darker in nature. The images aren't like what they are on a traditional tarot. It helps me see things in a different way. Deeper meanings. So with this King of Wands, I'm almost feeling that change, like I'm almost feeling a little bit of it's like feeling like you're a slave to something is what I'm feeling. Like you're feeling like a slave to something. Like I said, almost caught in a net, can't get out. Like you're a prisoner, and you can't break free. But there's that desire, that passion, to take action, to act, to break free. This is your soul self. So there's this desire in your soul to want to break free, and free yourself. Can I get one more card, please? Your soul is really not wanting to talk to me, Aquarius. Cards are not wanting to come out. Struggling to get the message. Okay, you also have the King of Cups. Okay. So I really feel like you haven't been able to, in your soul, you really have this desire, this desire, to move towards something that you're passionate about, that you love. You have all this love and passion in your soul, Aquarius, and but it's been held back. It's like, um, it's saying that this passion and this desire and this love that you have deep in your soul has, it's been kind of almost trapped in memory, like with the Six of Cups. It's like, desiring to have, the family, the the happily ever after, the kids, the family, the picket fence, all the different things in life. There's like this desire to have those kind of things in your soul, but um, you haven't been able, but you've been trapped because it's like, what's holding you back from getting those things in your life is um in a sense, you have been holding you back because you have been, in the past, you have catered to others in a sense. Like I said, you've lived by others' values and traditions that didn't necessarily suit who you were at a soul level. What you were, you didn't really follow what you loved and were passionate about. You kept that at a soul level, down deep in your soul, and it's like you weren't following your true calling. You weren't really being true to yourself, because you were doing things the way you had always done them, the way you had learned, the from the way your family did things, or your upbringing, your traditions, values around your religious upbringing and beliefs, or those types of things. Aquarius is we're holding you back, and so in a way you were holding you back because you went along with what you knew, even though at a soul level you had all this love and passion that you were holding inside that you weren't able to express, um, and that puts you in conflict with yourself and with the world around you. It caught you in this net. Like I said, you felt like you were caught in this whirlpool, this net, like you were a slave, a prisoner, that you couldn't break free, that you had this desire to break free of these traditions and values, and it's in yeah, you have this indifference, but it's like you're starting to really look at those things in your life, Aquarius, and feeling the need to. I'm really feeling like, I don't feel like in the month of June that you're going to be making these changes, but I feel like you're really starting to look at these things in June, is what I'm feeling, is like how that how these traditions and values, whether they really suit you or not, like really starting to, I sense that in June you're going to start this evaluation process, that you're going to start examining things and looking at things, on a deeper level, on whether, deciding on whether the things that you've been taught, are they really serving you or not? Are they really helping you find your happily ever after? Are they really making you happy? Are you really, what are you really passionate about? What do you love? Starting to really look at those things, and wanting to move forward with that Queen of Wands. The Queen and King of Wands can take action on things. Um, Wands are action oriented, impulsive, action oriented. So it could be that you could be a little bit impulsive, or maybe even, um, just out of the blue decide to do something that's against, you know, what you've normally done, is what I'm going to say, Aquarius. Okay, so your physical self you have wide open. And I see that. That actually makes a lot of sense to me, with everything else that I'm seeing here, Aquarius, because I see you opening up to the realm of possibilities around you. Like I said, evaluating. I see in June you're going to be in this evaluation process of really looking at what serves you and not serves you in your life. I don't necessarily see you really taking action unless something comes out in these final cards. I see this month, the month of June, being more, like I said, just in an evaluation mode, really looking at some of the stuff in your life, and seeing where you want to make changes, but not necessarily making changes yet, is what I feel. So this is kind of, not seeing what you know to be true. Like, with that Two of Swords, it's like, oh yeah, oh my gosh, okay, yeah, this is talking in your physical world. Okay, that's talking back to that analyzing. Okay, I hate to say it, Aquarius, but this is a caution. This is reality. So this is what you want to do. This is what you're feeling, thinking. You're feeling, thinking. You're realizing this. Right now in your reality, you're starting to realize. Like I said, if this resonates with you, that the way you've always done things has been the way other people have done them, not really what suits you. So at an intuition level, you're starting to realize what you really love and are passionate about. You're starting to figure that out. You're starting to look back in your past. That Six of Cups, really starting to look back at what really makes you happy, what do you love, what are you passionate about, starting to examine those things and starting to realize that the way that you've done things is not the way that's necessarily right for you. But the caution here is when we get down here to your physical reality, that starts playing out as putting yourself almost in this self-imposed prison by living the way that you've been living, and like I said with that Queen of Wands, almost like trying to make others happy or trying to live by others' rules. This has made you, where you've been up in your head, like where you're battling yourself, mentally battling yourself, because it's like you're confused, you like, it's that feeling of being an outcast, of not fitting in, not belonging, and it's confusing you, and it's causing you just this mental anguish, because you're not being true to your soul. You're not being true to yourself. You're not living in a way that suits you and suits you at a soul level. You're living someone else's life. You're living what suits someone else and not what really suits you. And so, you have this ending up of going into the Hangman, gaining that perspective, where you're evaluating these things and really studying it, really trying to examine it, and then figuring out how you can bring that to the world. I don't see, like I said, it still didn't come through. You are not, in the month of June, will not be bringing this, like taking action. This is really a self-reflection, introspection kind of month for you, is what I'm really picking up on, Aquarius. But I think that these changes will be well worth it. But there is this warning of all this confusion and conflict around you, and you will need to sort that out, that gain that new perspective on how to move forward. That will make you happier. But I see that it's going to cause you a lot of confusion. Okay, so for your love life, the one card that we pulled for your love life for the month of June is the World. So, and that makes sense because if you're in this transition period of through the month of June of really evaluating your belief systems, your traditions, what you believe, what you don't, what you value, what you don't value, what really doing the soul searching kind of work through the month of June, that's going to change how, that's going to end one cycle of how you've been acting in the world. And you're going to move toward it's definitely change. So as you change, that's you're going to move into a new cycle because you're going to be, once you finish this evaluation process and you start to take action on it, you're going to be a different person. You're going to act in a different way because you're going to be aligning yourself with things that suit you more in your life, Aquarius. And when you do that, you're going to that cycle, old cycle is going to end and a new cycle is going to begin. And so new things will be coming toward you or into your life. So that makes perfect sense. So that's what I have for you, Aquarius, for the month of June. I hope that you like this message. If you resonated with it, feel free to comment below, like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate everyone that took the time to listen to this message in its entirety. If you're still hanging in there with me, thank you so much. I wish you the best in this month of June. Joy, love, and light.